Chess of Chess Fridays number 3. I'm a noob. Take it easy. We're going to be learning, trying out something new today. Stretching our brain, stretching our thinking. So 3, 2, 1. Yo, yo, what's going on? I love you. Much love. Trav here. And I like to mix it up on this channel. Not just Magic, but playing different games. So today we're going to be working on chess. I feel that chess is a good educational tool for a kind of spatial reasoning and for sequencing. There's a lot of good things about chess. So the goal isn't to be necessarily, I'm not an expert, I'm really a noob, and we're going to learn this together. So, a few things. Last week I got trounced by Elliot, my brother, but I was linked to this little chess mentor demo thing, which we're going to do today. And I'm moving back to California in a week, which is pretty crazy. And when I'm down there, I'm going to get at least one book. I've got all these books, stacks, on chess openings, and we're going to study that. I'll study it on Snapchat, add me Travis D. Woo. So if you have a recommended chess book, send me a comment on that. I know it makes sense to go watch YouTube chess channels. It's just hard for me to do that. It's much easier for me to read a book because when I'm on YouTube, I'm end up in the dark corners of the internet, which is just more entertaining to me than chess. Anyways, let's go ahead and try this thing. Start your free lessons now. I think it's pretty newbie, but I don't know. Start demo. It says most games have an objective, which, when fulfilled, means that one has won the game. The object is to checkmate the opponent's king. Checkmate is a check which cannot be answered. There are 3 ways to get out of check. Move your king, capture the attacker, or block the check. If none of these options can stop, then it's checkmate. It's your move. Bam. Incorrect. Try again. You took an undefended black rook. Well, this is tempting. Material greed can blind you at times. Here we want to mate the black king. Oh, you're right, man. I got tricked. Whoa, that's crazy. That's crazy. I was tricked by greed. This is a good demo. I'm already liking it. This check is checkmate. When you play the bishop check, how can black parry the check? He can't move forward or sideways because 2 other black pieces occupy those squares. There's nowhere to go. How about capturing the bishop? There aren't any black men in position to capture your bishop. Bishop or pawn, or nothing's able to block it. 60%. Okay. Next lesson. This is kind of cool. This is the starting position of a chess game. Each side has 8 pawns. Okay, right, I get this. Chess was invented in India over 1,000 years ago. I didn't know that. That's cool, a little bit of history. Chess was invented in India over 1,000 years ago. Very cool. Who knew that? I didn't know that. Let's go ahead and expand this up a little bit. How's that for sizing? That's okay. All right, cool. I didn't know that. Show hint. Correct. White just made his first move. White always moves first. Now it's black move. Black made his first move. White and black. Why is there a gender assumption? Why did I bring up gender assumption? I'm a man. Guilty. Now it's time to learn notation, how to talk about chess moves and squares. Go on to the next lesson. Okay. We will see this natural developing move later in other levels at the beginner's course. That's kind of a cool opening, I guess. The royal game, back rank. Now we're going to start learning some basic checkmate patterns. The first one's called the back rank checkmate. Yep. It can sometimes be trapped by its own pawns, easy to checkmate. Both sides have castled, but GG noob! GG noob, I got you. Next lesson. Piece values. We're going to learn the point values of the pieces. Each piece is worth a certain number of points. Although is the point value is kind of subjective, right? Because I heard that it's better to have 2 bishops or two knights than a bishop and a knight. So it's not, is that true? I don't know. My understanding is point values are approximate, right? We're going to look at very basic example point values in your games. You see this, right? It's approximation, I believe. White gets out a piece. Black does the same. Oh, this makes sense here. Spanish opening. Speaking of Spanish opening, I have a meeting with my Spanish coach, mi entrenador de español, hoy, today. I have a Spanish coach, and so that's a cool thing that I do on Fridays. Maybe I Snapchat a little piece of that today. Add me, Travis Tibu. That's not a guarantee. This is called a trade. Now think about the point values of the bishop and the knight. Is this trade good, white, or even? Show hint. It's even, right? Forcing, should he trade or not? I would say trade because either we lose tempo by retreating, but if we attack, then it perhaps lets the opponent develop their pawns more. I don't know. White decides to trade his bishop. Both pieces are worth 3 points. It's an even trade. It's not better for white or for black. It's just even. I don't know if is that entirely true that all equal trades are equal because there's elements of tempo, and I was being told that I was trading too much. I don't know. Time to start learning about the opening. The first stage of chess is very important because all games, even the shortest ones, must have an opening. There really is no perfect opening, but that's just what we call any opening where you get all your pieces into the game. Control the center and keep your king. So we want to get all our pieces into the center. So this seems super unfair. Every piece controls more of the board when it is placed in the center, which is why most games begin with both white and black battling for control of this important area of the board. Oops. Try again. What am I supposed to do? I think I'm just supposed to click next. Correct. All of white's pieces are involved in the battle. His king is safe, and most important part of the board, the center, is firmly under his control. Sometimes a pawn has advanced far enough that it cannot be stopped by the king. This is called a runaway pawn, and it will soon become a queen. In this position, black's pawn is actually further advanced than white's and is supported by his king. White can just stand in front of black's pawn. Alternate correct move. Okay. What happens if I do this? Can't. Oh, yeah, okay. But then next. All right. At this point, I have to get in there, right? I see. I don't have to yet. Because the check comes, and then I can jump in front. All right. So there's not really a rush. Next. And bam, run away. Cool. White's only legal move. Fortunately, it wins. Even a monkey could win this game. Then we'll capture the black pawn. Checkmate him with the king. Okay. This is basic mate in problem 1. I kind of want to log in. I don't know how long this lesson is, but I don't know that I want to do the whole thing. Go for 30 minutes maybe. Basic mate in 1 problem. Some mate in 1 problems are trickier than others. Okay, mate in 1. Mate in 1. What if I move this here? Wait, which one is... I've got a hard time telling... This is the queen, right? I don't see this. I don't see it. I guess this has to move here. This is a mate in 1? What the fuck? What? Oh, this is a mate in 1 if this is... Oh, is this the queen? I can't tell the difference between a queen and a king here. We're white and we're going this way. And this must be the... Let's see what happens. Correct. Okay, I can tell the difference. Alright, we got it. Winning materials with tactics. As you progress from beginner to intermediate, one of the things you'll notice is that tactics are the most important part of the game. Endgames, opening, and strategy all play a part too. Tactics are important for every single... Can you define tactics, please? Tell me what tactics are. I want to know what your definition is. If you make a tactical mistake, you can pay for it for the rest of the game. This is from a game I played in a tournament a few years ago. I was black in this position, which appears fairly equal for both sides. Unfortunately, my next move was a serious blunder, allowing my opponent to win material by force. This was my only real mistake of the game. Up to now, I hadn't played badly, but with one move I spoiled everything, and it looks like a natural move. Let's see how white wins material here. A huge shock. White's knight is attacking my king and my rook on e8. It's called a fork. Also, my queen is under attack. Also my back rank is weak. If I capture the knight with my queen, white can play a checkmate. And if I capture the knight with my pawn, he can play. If I capture with my pawn, what the fuck happens? I can't see it. If I capture with pawn, he goes queen to e7. There's no grid on here. I don't really know what happens if I go there. I can't see the mistake. I would take the rook and get fucking slayed, apparently. Or take the horse. Yeah, what happens? This would go queen, what is it? Queen to e7, rook e7, rook e7. What is it? A, B, C, D, E. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that right? If this gets taken. No, I can't see it. I don't know. I'm blind. Chessboard. Let's look that up. Queen e7, chessboard. I need to see the grid. With grid, what do you call it even? Alright, let's check it out. We're learning. We're studying up. E7 is way up here. What? It doesn't make any sense to me. Or, I don't get it. Someone leave a comment. Fuck it, we're moving on. A sad necessity is that move. Make it simple, man. Show me how we're gonna lose. Okay. So white has traded his knight worth 3 points for my rook worth 5. This is kind of trade. Winning the exchange. White is now up exchange, which may not seem like that much of an advantage. Only 2 points. However, he can immediately trade off several pieces and simplify into an endgame that's just hopeless for me. Now that the dust has settled, we have arrived in an endgame with rook versus bishop. Standard plan. After you've won material trade off pieces, get into an endgame where your material's advantage is more effective. I'm fighting for a draw in this position. I never really had a chance after a couple more hours of defending. A couple hours of defending? What? How long do chess games go, man? To start off our journey towards learning how to think strategically, we will review a very basic position set right at the transition from opening to middle game. This doesn't look basic to me. Assuming no catastrophes for either side have taken place, both players must develop a basic plan. To understand what strategy or strategic thinking is, at most basic moments, we set up a very easy position where though white has a couple of tactics available, neither leads to anything good. It's our move. What are we supposed to do here? Bring the only minor piece that isn't currently playing the game. Which piece am I referring to? Pull this out. Nice. I didn't really think about it. A big part of winning the endgame is forcing trades from a more complicated position to a simpler one, which is easy to win. Incorrect. Try again. White is up a pawn and the two rooks are attacking each other. How can you guide or maybe even force the game to a winning king and pawn endgame? Yeah? Give me that shit. White recaptures the rook. Now the kings are facing each other. One square of the white. Thus white has the opposition. Alternate move. Here. Alternate move. Is that the best one? Outflanking. Getting space with his king and forcing black backwards. We're taking charge of the F file. F. A, B, C, D, E. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay. Let's go, boys. The pawn needs to be pushed eventually, but now is too early. Black will play, putting his king in position to the white king, after which white cannot force him away from the pawn's path. Damn, man, I'm so newbie, I really can't see it. I see, we need to push this mofo out of the way. Oh, this is kind of a dance. What if he went down here? Is it time? So we keep doing this thing. I see. And then after he moves, this is when we outflank up to here. Interesting. Cool. Alright. Cool. Next lesson, the rook roller. I want to be able to cut this and come back to it next week. Or is there another lesson simulator? This is pretty cool. I'm definitely learning more than playing a random game. Two rooks form a mighty team against a lone king. Yeah, we're gonna absolutely demolish this guy. When rooks stand together on adjacent files, they operate as a push broom, slowly sweeping the king. Yup. Yeah, we just push. Sweep you into the corner. Sweep you into the corner, bro. Mate. Roar! There's a difference between tactics and strategy. Okay, here's the definition. Tactics are short term, usually forcing ideas, immediate threats, forks, pins, discovered attacks, checks, and so on. They're focused on winning or saving material and attacking the opponent's king. Strategy, on the other hand, refers to long-term positional goals. Strategy includes such things as improving the position of your pieces, creating weaknesses, overall planning. In some positions, it's futile to look for tactics. Here, the position is too quiet and serene for any kind of tactics to happen anytime soon. Black has no reasonable way to attack the white pieces or king, so it is time to look for strategic plans in order to increase the power of the pieces. Free move. Am I supposed to move? I don't know. What is a good tactical move here? Or a good strategic move here? I don't know. Advancing. By playing this move, Black has given himself a backward pawn on d6. A, B, C, D. Why is this backward? However, he is planning a maneuver to increase the strength of his knight, which almost simultaneously mask the seemingly weakness of the d pawn. I see, because it protects here. He's creating an outpost on d4. A, B, C, D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tactics may come into play as he checks by looking ahead. White has no way to prevent that maneuver. White brings his rook to the open file. He could try to prevent Black's pawn of fuck, man, I can't read that shit. Why don't you put a grid on this for noobs like me? Guarding the e6 square. Black continues with the plan. That's the plan? What am I missing here? The knight heads towards d4. The white has a bad bishop. Nearly all of his pawns are on light squares. Oh, it's true. This bishop sucks. At the same time, this situation means that white has very little control over the dark squares. Black has used this factor to create an outpost for the white knight on d4. 1, A, B, C, D, 2, 4. The only way white will be able to remove this knight is to sacrifice a rook for it. Wow, that far ahead? What am I missing? A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. What? Whatever, okay. Notice that white could try to invade tactics. It's starting to get too complex for me. I need a chess master here to show me in advance. Although chess.com executives, if you're watching, you should put a grid on this. Put a ring on it, bro. Or not. Anyways, hit next. So this is the invulnerable outpost we were talking about. I see it's protected by this. The bishop's never going to be able to threaten this. This is protected by this. So this is why it really is going to take a rook to take it. So again, it seems that a bishop and a knight are, even though they're worth 3 pieces, at different times can be way more valuable. The knight is now in white's face and will bother him for the rest of the game. Knowing when to look for strategy versus when to look for tactics is an important skill to master. If you start looking for tactics in such a quiet position as this one, you would be disappointed. Cool. Common checkmate pattern that usually occurs when someone is castled queenside. Boden's mate. The king, having no moves, is sure sign to look for a checkmate. You only have to give a check, and it could be checkmate. So, I don't know. What do we want to do this? Incorrect. Try to look for a sacrifice which forces mate in 2 moves. Incorrect. I don't know. Show hint. The black king is in a stalemate position. It has no moves. Oh, this is the king right here. I see. Okay. What about this? Does that do anything? Oh, I'm totally blind. I don't know. I don't see it. A sacrifice? Mate in 2 moves? This is the what is it asking for? What does that do? Very clever idea. White pins the b7 pawn, threatening. Meanwhile, if black captures the bishop, you have the right pattern in mind, just find another way to do it. I like the encouragement. Yeah, that seems even worse because I'm sacrificing the queen. What does this do? I don't see it. Oh, what about this? I mean, that gives him too many options, right? Show hint. Next hint. White needs to give a check. Is that really Bowden's mate? We're sacrificing our queen for what? What's about to happen here? Black blocks. Oh shit. Wow, that was motherfucking awesome. Wow, that was really cool. Checkmate with 2 bishops is common when someone castles queenside. Definite sign that a tactic might be working is the black king having no moves. In that case, you can look for a way to open the diagonal for the other bishop. Wow, that was cool. Sacrifice a queen. We're into advanced tactics. Concept of removing the defender is fundamental to tactics. Sometimes you might identify a crucial defender, the removal of which may allow you to carry out a tactic. In some cases, it may be even worth it to sacrifice material to remove that defender. One moment. Tip. If your neck is like this, you get to doing this, and you can use boxes to raise up your standing desk. So I'm going to try doing that right now. Maybe temporary. And you get the bird's eye view over the house here. Concept of removing the defender is fundamental to tactics. Sometimes you just identify. Yeah, if the screen is like up here, it forces you to be taller, and you actually can get taller while you're on your computer. Pro tip. Concept of removing the defender. Identify a crucial defender, the removal of which will allow you to carry out a tactic. It can even be worth it to sacrifice material to remove that defender. In this position, you might notice that a certain black piece is preventing you from carrying out. What happened to my. A certain thing is preventing me from carrying out a deadly fork. Try to find that piece and destroy it. So a deadly fork would be right here. This piece is preventing it, right? Bam. That's right. Give me that. Destroying the defender tactic. White has sacrificed a rook but gained a queen. That's a cool tactic a couple moves later. The ability to look ahead in chess is a crucial skill. Noticing that you can remove a key defender and use its absence to carry out a winning tactic is important. Was that really that good though? We traded a rook for a queen. Yeah, I guess that's good. Learn with the Four Knights. You will learn some common opening ideas through studying the Four Knights game, one of the most commonly featured openings at the beginning stages of chess. Basic moves. Actually, I want to see this. Most aggressive way for white to attack the center, and the center is the most important area of the board. Okay. Black also wants to control the most critical area of the board. Okay. White develops the Okay, protecting, and the 4 horses are out. White often plays a move. Okay. White often plays a move which adds to their control over the central squares. Can you find it? So like this. I don't know. How can you fight for more control over the center? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Um, I don't know. We could pull this thing out. Okay. Perfectly good move. Okay. Um, what's the alternative move? Show hint. Next hint. Open up the path for more of your pieces to come out. Nice. That makes sense. That's something I need to learn because I've been blocking off my pawns. So what are we going to do at this point? Black decides to capture. Yeah, but that sucks because, oh, I see. We can take it with our knight and then do this thing. Okay, black develops their bishop and creates a threat to capture the e4 pawn. This pawn is under threat. So maybe you want to move that up. I'm just don't. Chess is complicated. This capture is more or less necessary, and white can play. I'm gonna look at this again. Okay, capture that. So they have to take the pawn, take it. Almost always advisable to make pawn capture towards the center. Keep more control over those key central squares. Capturing with the d pawn will allow white to trade. Queen's d8. Okay, that makes sense. Move towards the center in general. Developing the bishop to protect. It's a natural thing to do, but I mean, this is this incorrect? I mean, what's wrong with that? Black makes another good move, fighting for the center and opening up their light squared bishop. Show hint here. I don't know. What do you want me to do, master? Trade, opening up diagonal for their light squared bishop. Okay. Black recaptures. Castling. Unless one of your pieces is under attack, it's pretty much always a good idea to get your king out of the center. If you can consistently get your king out of the center before move 10, you're doing a good job on opening. There's another castle. White develops their last minor piece and creates a pin against the f6 knight. Now there's a threat to play. bx. I'm thinking about breakfast right now. Next lesson. White brings out their queen to an active square and connects rooks. I think that this is a good amount to learn today. Is there a way that I can save this? Settings. Chess Mentor settings. I see. Find other lessons in my rating range. My I'm just checking out for next week how we can do this. Start training. This is the name of the course. Start demo. Show answer versus computer. Play positions, that's premium. Is there a way that I can like skip? Oh, I see. Next week we'll come back and just hit skip. All right. Thanks for watching Chess Friday. Just a little bit. You know, I feel if you do something every day, you'll get better at that thing. Obviously, there's more to doing something where our information comes from is good. But if I do something once a week, slowly over time, you know, I can't do chess every day. I can, but I don't really want to. It's not that important. But over time, I think over a year perhaps you'll see me level up and maybe we'll get our rank up too. So hope you found that enjoyable. Thanks. Once again, check me out Snapchat Travis D. Woo. Leave me a comment. Let me know what chess book I should get. I love you. Thank you so much. Take care. This was fun, and see you back here next week. Take action.